You have been poisoned by a modern lie that vulnerability is strength. Society, friends, therapists all tell you to be an open book because honesty builds trust. That is wrong. In the real geometry of power, information is not connection. Information is a weapon. Every time you overshare, you hand someone a loaded gun. Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries ago. The moment you expose your fears, your limits, your plans, you stop being a player and become a pawn. You become predictable. In the game of power, predictability is death. You think you are connecting, they are collecting data. You think you are unburdening, they are mapping your armor for cracks. How many times has something you whispered in intimacy been used as a weapon in conflict? Stop bleeding for people who cannot heal you. Today, we close the gates. Here are the 7 things you must never share, not with friends, not with colleagues, often not even with your partner. 1. Your ethical red lines. When you meet someone new, you want them to know you are a good person, so you announce your limits. I could never fire someone. I could never lie to a client. I could never cut off family. You think you are demonstrating virtue. You are drawing a map of your weaknesses. When you tell a manipulator exactly where your moral boundary is, you show him how far he can push you before you break. If he knows you cannot handle confrontation, he will use aggression to dominate you every time. If he knows you cannot refuse requests, he will drain you dry. Machiavelli said a prince must be capable of great virtue and great cruelty depending on the moment. Not cruel, but capable. When you announce your red lines, you announce where your hands are tied. Keep your ethics private. Be a good person, yes, but never reveal the extent of that goodness. Let them wonder whether you are capable of pushing back. The dog that barks is understood. The dog that stands perfectly still is feared, because no one knows if it will lick your hand or tear out your throat. Preserve the ambiguity of your capabilities. 2. Your effort, the machinery behind the magic. We live in a culture that loves to show its work. Late-night posts, complaints about how hard the project was, fishing for sympathy. Stop. The Renaissance concept of sprezzatura, studied carelessness, means making the difficult look effortless. When you reveal your struggle, you devalue the result. Telling your boss, "I was up all night on this report," signals inefficiency. Telling your partner, "I spent 3 hours getting ready," signals desperation. Power must look natural, like a gift from the gods, not the product of sweat. Never share the doubts, the 3 a.m. crises, the moments everything nearly fell apart. Present the finished product. When asked how you did it, smile and say, "It just came together." People follow those who make winning look inevitable. If they watch you bleed for every inch, they classify you as a worker, not a leader. Conceal the process. Reveal only the result. 3. Your exit strategy. If this business fails, I can go back to teaching. If she leaves, I can stay at my mother's. You say this to comfort yourself, but when you share your plan B, you kill everyone's belief in plan A. Sun Tzu called this the death ground. Soldiers fight with maximum ferocity when there is no retreat. The moment you reveal a safety net, people stop betting on you. Investors do not fund founders who discuss fallback jobs. Partners do not commit to someone already planning a solo exit. Worse, if your enemies know your exit, they can block it. If they know your plan B is a specific competitor, they will poison your reputation there first. Your line of retreat is your last line of defense. Keep it invisible. Look like a person who has no choice but to win. That conviction is contagious. People rally behind someone they believe cannot be stopped. 2. The precise extent of your intelligence. There is an enormous difference between being intelligent and displaying it. The insecure person corrects everyone, interrupts, cites facts, fans his knowledge like a peacock. This is foolish. Showing exactly what you know reveals the boundaries of your data. The Machiavellian strategy, play slightly less informed than you are. When people underestimate you, they get careless. They speak freely around you. They lie thinking you will not catch it. They reveal their schemes thinking you are too slow to understand. While they run their play, you sit in the audience taking notes. Never confront a betrayal with evidence the moment you find it. That is emotional and weak. Archive it. Act normal. Let them keep lying. Now you have leverage. You can feed them false information, manage them, and choose the perfect moment to act. Information is non-renewable. The moment you say, "I know what you did," the surprise is gone and the value drops to zero. Ask questions you already know the answers to. Watch how they respond. You have a full deck while they think you are holding a pair of twos. 5. Your financial position. Money is a dominant signaling mechanism. Knowing your true financial position is the decisive lever in any negotiation, which is exactly why you must never reveal it. Show weakness and predators circle. They will offer you insulting deals knowing your desperation. Our primitive brain reads financial struggle as failure. You become an object of charity, and no one gives a throne to the object of their charity. Show wealth and parasites appear. Friends who need loans, relatives with opportunities, people who expect you to cover dinner. Worse, you generate envy, the most destructive force in the human arsenal. Machiavelli's prescription: create strategic fog. Appear capable, neither desperate nor boastful. If you are poor, dress well and speak in the language of abundance. If you are wealthy, dress modestly and talk about budgets. Financial ambiguity lets you negotiate from psychological strength regardless of your actual bank balance. If they do not know whether you need this deal, you hold the power. 6. Your grievances, the enemy list. When we are close to someone, we bond over shared resentments. The ex, the tyrannical boss, the person we hate. You think you are venting. You are showing your wounds. You are telling people exactly how to hurt you. "I hate my ex because he made me feel worthless," tells the listener. My status and security is a live button. Press it. The person who talks about enemies is looking backward. Power looks forward. Fixating on old grievances signals you have not processed the past and warns listeners that you will one day speak the same way about them. Machiavelli's rule: either treat people well or destroy them completely. If you cannot destroy them, ignore them, but never complain about them. Complaining is the language of the victim. If someone asks about your enemy, say, "I wish them well," and move on. The level of detachment this signals is almost inhuman. It communicates that you are so focused on your own empire, you have no time to notice the ants that bit your ankle. Keep the list in your head. Use the anger as fuel in your work. Never spend it in conversation. 7. Your grand design. Every one of us carries a grand design. The startup, the book, the life change, the person we intend to become. Announcing it is a trap. Neurologically, when you declare your plans, your brain releases the same reward chemicals it would release upon achieving them. You get the satisfaction without doing the work. Motivation collapses. Strategically, it is worse. Announcing your move lets the world block it. "I'm applying for the promotion." Now your rival knows to apply too. "I'm changing my life." Now your family recites every previous failure. The grand design is a seed. Dig it up every day to show people it is growing, and it dies. It needs darkness, soil, time. Move in silence. Do not announce the start. Announce the completion. The sudden reveal carries terrifying force. Imagine disappearing for 6 months, working in the dark, then launching something that changes everything. No hype, no preview, only execution. No one saw it coming. No one could stop it. That is the master's path. Speak only of what you have done, never of what you are going to do. The decoy: how to navigate a world that demands you share. Staying silent all the time makes you suspicious. Saying, "I can't tell you," creates conflict. But revealing the truth destroys your advantage. The solution: the conversational decoy. Like a fighter jet releasing flares to redirect the heat-seeking missile, you release a simulation of truth that satisfies the observer without exposing your actual position. Decoy 1. The minor confession. People crave your mess. It makes them feel better about their own. If you appear perfect, they will dig for dirt. Give them dirt you choose. Someone asks, "You seem distracted. What's going on?" Confess a small, irrelevant problem. "Honestly, my back has been killing me and it's affecting my focus." It's true, it's relatable, it's vulnerable. They offer sympathy. Curiosity satisfied. You gave them a pebble so they would stop staring at the mountain. Decoy 2. The boring truth. When asked about finances, use the weapon of boredom. Instead of, I made 50% returns or I lost everything, say, the market is volatile right now. I'm just trying to stay ahead of inflation. This is the gray rock method. Make the topic so bland and generic that they lose interest and change the subject themselves. Your secrets are wrapped in packaging so ordinary no one bothers to open it.
The bedroom, the most dangerous vault. The hardest place to guard these secrets is not the boardroom, it is the bedroom. We're taught that love equals total transparency. This romantic fantasy frequently becomes a tragic reality. When you tell your partner everything, your deepest insecurities, your darkest history, your most fragile dreams, you hand them a loaded weapon. She loves me, she would never use it. Perhaps not today. But what happens when the relationship ends? What happens in the heat of an argument? You act this way because your father abandoned you. You will never start that business. You're too scared of failure. You told me yourself. Secrets shared in love become weapons deployed in conflict. This is not about lying to your partner. It is about protecting the relationship from its own chaos. Does your partner need to know every career doubt? No, it creates anxiety at home. Every person you find attractive? No, it invites jealousy. A strong leader absorbs the world's uncertainty and transmits stability to the home. Treat your partner as a life companion, not a therapist. Even in marriage, there must be a corner of your mind that belongs to no one else. That private space sustains desire and respect. The fully open book becomes a piece of furniture, familiar, predictable, ignored. The one exception. You cannot carry everything alone indefinitely. The pressure builds. Machiavelli had advisors. Kings had confidants. You are allowed one exception, chosen with sniper precision. Not your best friend. Friendship is proximity, not competence. Not your partner. Romance clouds judgment. Your strategic mirror. A mentor, paid consultant, therapist, or a peer operating in a completely different arena so you are not competing for the same resources. 3 hard criteria. No motive to harm you. They are paid to keep secrets or your destruction brings them zero benefit. High competence. Confiding in a fool is suicide. Confiding in a genius is strategy. Low emotional investment. They care about your outcomes, not your feelings. If this person does not exist in your life, do not manufacture the role. A journal is a better confidant than the wrong person. It does not gossip, judge, or envy. Write the plan. Burn the paper. Release the pressure from your system without transferring it into someone else's. Conclusion. The accumulation of presence. Seal the 7 leaks and something shifts. Picture a steam locomotive with all valves open. Steam hisses loudly and dramatically, but the engine does not move. Close the valves and pressure builds. Then the wheels turn. Silence creates internal pressure. When you stop announcing your plans, the energy of those plans stays inside you, driving the work, feeding the obsession. People around you will sense the change without being able to name it. She's been so quiet lately. He looks incredibly focused. In a room full of people fighting to be heard, the one who is silent controls the gravity. You become a black hole, drawing attention without requesting it. This is the aura of the exceptional person. They do not ask the crowd to validate their reality. They build their reality and let the crowd live inside it. Why do we share these 7 things at all? Because we are asking for permission, for approval, to be seen. Sharing your ethics, look at me, I'm a good person. Sharing your efforts, look at me, I work hard. Sharing your grand design, look at me, I am going to succeed. Stop asking. The person who needs no validation from the crowd becomes the one the crowd cannot stop watching. Seal the vault, let silence speak, and when you do finally open your mouth, make every word land like a verdict.